Stealth here. It's Monday, so it's a war room, but it's going to be a bit shorter than usual because my voice is still not entirely 100%, but it's operational enough to make sure that I can do a video. Anyway, first of all, I wanted to thank you guys for all of your warm wishes for my voice and my health to return. I always get a bit of a double feeling because when I have the flu, I don't feel like I'm really sick or like it's not that serious. I mean, yeah, I'm a bit sniffly, I lose my voice, but that's about it. Anyway, thank you very, very much for your warm wishes there, and hopefully I'll be able to just continue with normal videos this week. Anyway, what have I been up to this week? Due to having the flu, I was not really feeling like doing a lot of work. And I'm always a bit hesitant about that, because, come on, who am I trying to fool? If I can play Wargame, that means that I'm fully capable of doing, let's say, complex strategic decision making. So why wouldn't I be able to do work, to find people on LinkedIn to connect with, to, of course, I wouldn't really be able to do a workshop on body language like I normally would, with my voice being out, but some of the other stuff I could probably do. Anyway, not really working that much did give me the time to do a lot of grinding on Armored Warfare, and there was a lot of grinding to be done. Armored Warfare unleashed a patch, which I believe was released Tuesday, maybe Thursday, I think Tuesday. It was the .11 patch, and with that patch we got quite a few buffs to existing vehicles. Some vehicles got corrected or nerfed slightly. PvE got boosted, and of course the tier 9s were introduced. Now, one of the vehicles that was really significantly buffed is the Challenger 1. Up to the extent that I think it might be slightly overpowered at this stage, but I'm having a good lot of fun with it. And I'm trying to get to the C1 Ariete at tier 8 and then the tier 9 Challenger 2. But before I get there, it's going to be a while, because it's 540-ish thousand experience in order to get to the tier 8, and then from the tier 8 to the tier 9 it's another, I don't know, probably somewhere north of 500,000 experience. But I'll be doing a review on the Challenger soon, possibly tomorrow. Anyway, this leopard here just met a very, very unhappy demise here. Other things I've been doing this week, of course the the Second Korean War, the Korean campaign, that got finished. I gotta say, that was pretty fast. A lot faster than I had expected anyway. I was rather surprised by how quickly that ended, I gotta say. I had not expected it to end as soon as it did. I mean, getting that thing done in 9 turns? Who even needs Leopards, Leclercs, F-117s, advanced stuff like that? Apparently, if you deploy your forces strategically and play aggressively, and yeah, sometimes I was too aggressive, I'll definitely grant you that. But if you play like that, it does tend to work. And that's how I got that thing done in 9 turns. I have Climb Mount Narodnia coming up. I'll probably be starting recordings on that tomorrow, so that's Tuesday. And I'm going to be trying to do a similar thing there. I wouldn't really call it a speed run, but something along the lines of doing a fast, mostly air-wise rush of the strategic airports that I need to capture in that campaign. But more on that as I'm going to be recording that. Now, some of you have mentioned the Ash and Shadows mod. I have been looking into that mod. I have it installed in one of my Wargame installations, and it does look promising. For those of you who don't know it, it's a mod that changes Wargame to introduce units up to 2015, so this year. And you can expect some ridiculous stats, or at least compared to what you're used to from the standard Wargame. For example, an AA missile launcher like the Buck suddenly has a range of 7 kilometers. A jet fighter like the F-22 suddenly has a range of, I believe, 17 kilometers with air-to-air missiles. And we're not talking inaccurate Tomcat missiles at 12 kilometer range, we're talking really bloody accurate missiles at 19 or 17 kilometers out, with an airplane that has exceptional stealth and 70% ECM, so good luck shooting that thing down if ever. The thing is, with that mod, it is not finished yet. The US side of things is finished, but some of the other countries, especially most of Redford, does not seem to have been adjusted yet. That means that you're going to be using very, very advanced tactical units against units that are dating back to 1955. I mean, putting, let's say, a Challenger 2 LEP against something like a T-55, it's not going to go well. And it wouldn't really make for interesting video material for you guys. So I'll be keeping an eye on the Ashen Shadows mod as it's developing, but for now I probably won't be using that thing anytime soon. And doing a mod showcase on it is really too early, because I can of course showcase you what the units, I kind of showcase the units that have been changed, but the others, not so much. Last thing about Wargame is that I have been getting requests from people, do you know where I can find any people to play with? I usually point them to the Reddit servers. There's usually people on the Reddit TeamSpeak, and although Wargame of course is not a huge community, that is where most people seem to be going to find the game. But if you want to find more people to play with, if you want to expand your friends list a bit, just leave your username down below in the comments so that other people can add you and get some games together. Keep in mind there are still new players getting into the game, so if you see someone who is new to the game, help them out a bit. Just play a game with them, possibly against an AI unit, and point them out what they could be improving. Phrasing there, what they could be improving, not what they're doing wrong. One thing that I've always found very, very unhelpful in World of Tanks, Armored Warfare, Wargame is telling people what they're doing wrong. Telling people they're a noob. Splendid, but what's it's helping to them or you? Those are just people who need to vent their emotions, vent their anger. They want to flame at something, mostly for the point of flaming, it would seem. But if you actually tell people that they need to improve upon something, and exactly how they could do that, what they could be missing, for example, in Wargame. You don't have AA there, you're vulnerable to airstrikes. You don't have any recon, you're vulnerable to an ambush. Help people out that way. And not only are they going to be very, very grateful, but it's also a great way to help new players get into the game and get new people to improve their gameplay. Because let's face it, it's a tough game. There's 1,500 units in here. You need to know a fair bit about military tactics. And it will take quite a while to get to know all of these units. So if you have a new player that you can help out, please do so. Anyway, to drive a long point home, leave your username in Wargame down below in the comments, and people will start adding you as a friend. You can of course give a short description of what you are, what you do, what you need, and how you could help other people. Please signify that last bit, how you can help other people. And especially for the people who have, for example, 800 games played, these people are pretty much the experts in Wargame. You have had so much experience with this game that it's a great position for you to start helping out other people. So I hope that you will. Anyway, other stuff I've been doing and playing this week, of course, Fallout 4, although not as much as some of the, how shall I put this, the more addicted players, maybe, or the more fanatic players. I haven't really gotten that far. Mostly I've been developing settlements, getting some side missions done for the Brotherhood of Steel, getting some stuff done like the side quests that you sometimes just encounter, and for most I just enjoy wandering the wasteland and finding new territories, especially the glowing sea. It's a great place to explore. which is the southwest of the map, there are some really interesting locations. So be sure to check that out if you do have the game. Other game I've been playing is Prison Architect. I touch on this game every now and then, and even though it has been officially released, it's out of early access, they still continue to add features. And one of the features that they have added is the escape mode. So I might be doing prison escapes anytime soon, so long as they're virtual, of course. But anytime that they're going to patch that, that's when I'm probably going to be doing some video on that, because currently it is extremely unbalanced, and I found that if I just pick a random prison from Steam, it is usually very, very easy to escape from those. But that also highlights one of the interesting points from Prison Architect, and especially the escape mode. You can try and escape from any kind of prison that's in the game. Or that's in the Steam Workshop. So if you, if this feature actually gets developed, if it gets released, then, or not released, it's already released. If it gets patched and balanced, that's when I'll probably start to do a video, and maybe we can do a bit of a challenge. You develop a prison and I'll try to escape from it. I think that would be an interesting challenge. Other stuff, not that much really. With my voice out and my energy a bit low, I've been mostly gaming Armored Warfare, a bit of Red Dragon every now and then, and of course Prison Architect and Fallout. One interesting thing that I have been reading is a book called Never Eat Alone, and it's a book about networking. Networking usually carries a bit of a sour connotation with people who think that it's people who are trying to get clients, it's people who are trying to push their own business. I usually don't see it that way. For me, networking is a way to get to know new people. And I suppose you could say that you're doing it all the time. If you're playing against other people in Wargame, you're networking. If you're talking to family and seeing how they're doing, basically you're networking as well. And some people even suggest that you don't call it networking, but you call it connecting with other people, and I think that's a good one. Anyway, that question or that book also sparked an interesting question, which is most of the time, if you meet someone you haven't seen before, your first question is, what do you do? What profession do you have? What business do you have? Etc. Something like that. So, at one of my latest network events, I tried to mix it up a little bit. And I asked the question, what's the most interesting thing that you read this week? That got some really, really interesting response from people, because they just don't expect that. And you really see them thinking like, okay, this is an interesting question. So here's a question to you guys. What is the most interesting thing that happened to you in a game this week? Doesn't have to be Wargame, can be Fallout, can be a game that many people might not even know. Just leave in the comments down below what happened to you this week as far as gaming goes. And I think that we can make a sort of interesting returning question. What happened to you this week in gaming, in life, in business, in whatever. If you have any good questions for next week's War Room, leave those down in the comments, and I look really, really forward to seeing what you guys can come up with. Anyway, that's pretty much all I had for this week. As mentioned, quiet week, not been doing that much. Hope you guys enjoyed the Second Korean War. I'll be doing Armored Warfare reviews again soon, because I slacked off on those a bit because I wanted to wait for the new update to come out. But with that thing up, I can start doing those again, start doing Climb Mount Narodnia again, and get this channel back up to full speed. Again, thanks you guys for all the comments in the previous videos, the Second Korean War campaign. Everything that you're doing here. Thank you for being a subscriber, for pretty much making this thing possible. Really appreciate you being here, and I hope that we can stick together and do some more do some more Wargame or whatever game you're enjoying at the moment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.